One of the most interesting ongoing topics is the regulation of loot boxes in video games, FIFA specifically being of interest to me and many of my FIFA colleagues. Some countries are already making the right step by removing or regulating these dangerous child slot machines. A common sentiment that is echoed by many nihilists in my comments and across all FIFA content on YouTube when talking about loot boxes is something along these lines. If packs are removed, EA would just implement a battle pass type system and they would make even more money, Nelly. What's the point? As someone that knows this game, community, and company inside and out, this seemed highly unlikely to me. Not that EA would implement a battle pass type system, but that it would be just as profitable as what they're currently doing. So, I thought I would use this opportunity between my school semesters to do some research, to see if the actual implications would be a drastic change to EA's bottom line. Disclaimer, exact profit information can be extremely difficult to obtain and some estimates have been made. This is not my engineering thesis, so don't treat it as such. Step 1. Figure out how much EA makes approximately from Ultimate Team. The game sale calculations are not needed at the moment. We assume that EA will continue to sell this game yearly at the same standard price. I searched the web for a decent amount of time but could not find the exact copy sold of FIFA 20, but I did find the exact copy sold of FIFA 18. FIFA 18 sold 24 million copies. Many articles reported that FIFA 19 sales were down in the first quarter compared to 18. Let's be generous and round up and say FIFA 20 sold 25 million copies, since the real numbers are not readily available. I'm sure some dude in the comments is going to find a link and just crush me, but whatever. I will set my plus minus to 5%, meaning my calculations have a expected error of 5%. Ultimate Team generated $1.49 billion in revenue in 2020, some of which is tied with Madden and NHL, but EA specifically stated that a large portion of that money is with FIFA Ultimate Team. I will be generous and say that $190 million of Ultimate Team money goes to the other franchises, and I strictly want to keep my calculations with FIFA. Alternately, I could have factored sales for all the games, but that would require even more speculation because EA doesn't boast sales unless they outperform last year's numbers, which for a game like NHL most certainly does not happen as it sold less and less copies every year. So, $1.3 billion divided by 25 million customers gives us a value of $52 of revenue per customer per year. EA, on average, makes $52 per customer after the purchase of the actual game. This number is without a doubt closer to $60 this year, as FIFA 21 will spend most of its lifespan in a pandemic year where many are forced to be indoors. This is an absurd amount of money EA are trying to protect. It is extremely clear why they will defend their case that packs are not loot boxes until their dying breaths. Keep in mind that this is just an average. Some people play FIFA offline only, like career mode guys, and some people will spend tens of thousands of dollars on this game. Step 2. Okay, let's calculate what a season pass model might look like. Well, let's look at one of the most successful games to do it, Fortnite. These games share some similarities and some differences. First of all, Fortnite is free. This means more people would be enticed to actually pay for a season pass. The same can't be said for FIFA. Both games also share a very large young audience. Lastly, Fortnite is not pay to win. In March of 2019, Fortnite had 250 million users across all platforms. It generated a whopping $1.8 billion in 2019 in revenue. This gives us a value of $7.2 of revenue per customer per year. The difference is absolutely staggering. FIFA generates 7 times more per customer without even taking into account the actual game sale. In order for FIFA to continue to generate the kind of money that Ultimate Team makes seems almost statistically impossible. With their player base, they would need to implement a World of Warcraft style model to generate the same kind of revenue. Okay, the calculation part of this video is done. Now, let's talk a bit about speculation and my thoughts. The one key element here is the reason people buy packs. They buy them because they get a significant advantage in online play, whereas in Fortnite, the Battle Pass does not do that. If FIFA implemented a Battle Pass type strategy that everyone had to buy into, everyone would be on equal playing field, making the idea of giving EA money an even less appealing one. More importantly, it would put a hard cap on the amount of money one user can spend. The sharks that spend tens of thousands of dollars would not be able to do so. Lastly, FIFA is a terrible product with a bank heist type model each year. Get the money and get out. It is a game that many quit only months into its cycle. It is not something that would even be good in a battle pass structure because of longevity issues. It is very possible that EA might have a better model in their mind, but when comparing it to what's on the market, it doesn't seem likely. Something has to give. Even if they decide to sell FIFA points, the missing element of gambling and chance I think would significantly reduce the appeal of the product. If this game becomes 18+ with its continued structure, it might continue to profit in the same fashion it has. However, it would shine a massive light on just how dangerous this product is to minors. Many parents will for the first time be asking themselves why this game is rated 18+, and hopefully this will open their eyes to what their child has been exposed to for years. It might even prompt new lawsuits. Alternately, if packs are completely removed like they have been in some countries already, EA would need another revolutionary model, similar to what Ultimate Team originally was, to sustain or increase their revenue. This seems highly unlikely given what is currently out there. Finally, a subscription structure wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing for this franchise. It would remove pay to win, which has plagued this game for countless years now. EA would be forced into improving their product or suffering the same fate as non-sports franchises have. The ones that have failed to adapt, improve, and innovate. 2021 could be the year that some of these massive events in gaming finally play out as more and more countries are cracking down on loot boxes. EA has many times boasted about the 30% of their entire company's revenue that is generated from packs, while continuing to make some of the worst sports games in history. And although I understand that some people might think EA is untouchable and they will always be this prosperous, I would counter that with, so did the Romans, and then what happened? And so did 10,000 other civilizations, companies, empires. Every empire has a rise and a fall. The end of loot boxes would be the end of EA. But, as always, I leave the floor to you. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have some opinions entirely different than mine? Some points that I've missed? Let me know. Until next time, peace.